Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. It is time to get a little bit wild. So first things first, we got charity hospitals going. It's time to switch over to private health insurance. The trade unions are going to be big mad. The church is going to be a little mad, but basically it's not going to make that much of a change. And this is going to improve the strength of the petite bourgeoisie rather than the Anglican Church. And it's going to make the mortality reduction dependent on wealth rather than just a flat modifier. Also, we're going to go ahead. That's not good. We've reduced our authority, but that's okay. We can live with that. And I'm going to go ahead and get started on this war with Denmark. So, going to conquer Danish Niger Delta. They accepted. Oh, wonderful. Perfect. Well, I don't need to worry about a thing then. That's wonderful. I'm so pleased. Let's go ahead and take over the Merina Kingdom then. Protectorate 11.6 infamy. That's quite a bit. Let's just quickly double check on their military technology here. Just make sure that I'm not off base. Yep, irregular infantry, and hussars. Alright, so I'm not at all concerned about that. Let's go ahead and make a protectorate. They're going to fight about it, which is fine. I'm going to go ahead and add a ban slavery war goal. This will motivate them to yield peacefully, and we'll do the invasion with the Army of the West Indies. They seem to be quite good at that kind of thing. We are still increasing in bureaucratic capacity here, but not as fast as I would like. So let's go ahead and get the government admins in Ulster back up to the top. We'll continue to build that railway in Lancashire, obviously, but we'll work on this other stuff as well, because this is money. This is money right here. Economy is continuing to grow at a pretty solid rate. Obviously, we're almost past the British East India Company, though. And Great Qing, we're getting there. Literacy is stagnant. What's our education? Our education's maxed out. That's not going to be able to increase. Well, friends, I guess we'll just have to fight about it then. Who would be swayed here? Only Oman. No. So that's interesting. All right. Well, we'll get prepared for a proper war then. Mobilize the armies. We'll keep constructing for a little while. So, where do we have fronts with France? We have one down here. So I'm going to throw the Army of Australia over here just to deal with this stuff. It's going to take them a long time to get there, but it is what it is. We do have a front with France over here in the British East India Company. We'll put the Army of the Cape of Good Hope there. I know those are not sensible army locations, but it is what it is. Ooh, we got one actually here. I'm going to... Army of the Mediterranean, we're going to put here. Army of Canada, we're going to put here. And I think the Army of Ireland, I'm going to put here. The Army of India, we're going to place... Seems sensible to put it in India, but let's go on to Africa for the time being. We'll see if France decides to hold off and how that's going to go. Currently at home we have the Home Army and the Household Division, so we'll leave those there to prevent any kind of chicanery. So let's move some navies. We're going to put the Portsmouth Station Navy at the British Channel Sea Node, Plymouth Station Navy at the Bay of Biscay Sea Node. I'm hoping that'll let us do whatever we need to do. Do we want to add some more goals against France? Because I would love to get a little bit of French territory out of this. They want a treaty port in the Indian Ocean territory. That's wild. Why would you want that, France? They might still abandon the Merina Kingdom, in which case all of this would be for naught. Actually, I'm still constructing. Oh. And France is embargoing us now. Well, I'm sorry, France. And we'll go ahead and embargo you as well. Go ahead and cancel these trade routes. So the Miskito Kingdom. It's a constitutional principality. Urgh. I really would like to be able to devote forces to helping out with that war, but I don't think I can for the moment. They'll have to hold for now. So it looks like France's armies are mostly going to India. So we'll go ahead and place our main force over there as well. We've got a bunch of allied forces there. Yep, France is our rival again. Oh, sorry, France, but all I wanted was Madagascar. Is that such an unreasonable thing to ask for? Alright, so I'm going to grab... Let me see. French Senegal is one state. So I could grab French Senegal. No, I think I want to grab... If I grab French Ivory Coast, that'll... Ooh. Wait, do I have return... I don't have return war goals on any of these places. So... French Guiana down here. It's a good target. French Indian Ocean territories. Corsica, French Sahara. French Volta is going to be actually quite difficult from an infamy perspective to get. French Guinea, on the other hand, or French East Sahara. This is Senegal. Where's French Senegal here? Is that... It's unincorporated. No, I don't want that. I want Guinea. Let's not get too greedy with this stuff. Ooh. Belgium will help us with the Miskito aristocratic revolt in exchange for transferring subject to the trucial states. No, thank you. That is not going to be of any use to me. Or at least not going to be of much use to me. Unfortunately, our first event with private healthcare is a bureaucratic imbroglio. Let's see how that goes. Lawmakers working towards the enactment of private health insurance have found themselves mired in a particularly complex set of bureaucratic proceedings, grinding the work towards reform to a halt. The fully developed bureaucratic apparatus compares with other organizations exactly as does the machine, with the non-mechanical modes of production. That is to say, the teeth of its individual gears meet in accord, or its gears will gnash and churn until it eventually breaks. Damn this labyrinthine legal system, or cut through at least some of the red tape. This is going to cost me some bureaucracy, which I can't really afford right now. But that's okay. That's going to cost me money, but I'll get it worked out eventually. So, We'll go ahead and queue up 2 more government buildings in exchange for an obligation. Okay. Go for it. Nicaragua in front. Yeah, I don't know. Gold depleted in Yukon. Alright, battle lines have been drawn. Time to fight. We're still winning over here. Ah, there's the French army getting there. So that is what it is. So once we've cleared out France's holdings in Western Africa, that'll free up a bunch of forces, and then we'll be able to do what we're doing. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and have the Sheerness Station invade the Miskito. This is the Miskito, the Merina Kingdom, with the Army of the West Indies. So the Army of Australia will be able to, once it's conquered these territories here, we'll be able to move it to the Miskito front and not have a problem with that. So that's going to be what I'm focusing on for the moment. Perfect. Right, so this army is going to go here. 1 division against none. Don't love it. There's that. So we've got 2 armies on these fronts. Our army over here is deploying to this front. Alright, that is what we want. These are going just fine in that battle there. There's Shellgun. We're going to lose this island. Yep, that's not a shocker. We'll grab that back as things go along. Alright, so that's the Miskito Kingdom taken care of. We'll grab a small fleet to do a naval invasion of this area using, these are Christmas Islands, I think, the Army of Australia. Dissenters break ranks, another stall event. To outside observers, the industrialists may appear firmly committed to the idea of private health insurance, but behind this facade of unity, discord has long festered. Now, a clique of dissenters have finally had enough and have officially broken with their fellow members over the issue of reform. For how long have we stood together? How many times have we lent a willing hand your way? Yet our own concerns are left unanswered, and our own desires left unmet. If we shall not be heard here, we shall be so elsewhere. Splitters, may the devil take them. This reduces enactment chance and makes the industrialists weaker. Loosen our purse strings, maybe we can lure some of them back. This costs money. Or offer them custodianship over a new draft. This slows down enactment but increases the success chance. I'm going to... So this is tempting because our chances are good, but I'm going to loosen the purse strings. It's just going to cost us some cash. We're in the middle of a war. All the money is completely goofed anyway, so... Oh, perfect. We actually were able to take over this front over here with no problem whatsoever. So that's excellent. So that means armies are redeploying back to wherever they need to be. That's fun. Civil war happening in New Grenada, an aristocratic revolt. Tempted to help the government over there, but we'll see. Naval battle happening here. We are beating the French. Obligation from the Hudson Bay Company. We'll go ahead and absolve it. That's going to improve our standing with them. I can actually afford to continue building, although if my allocation of the construction capacity goes up, it will need to slow that down again. To decapitate a serpent. William Smith O'Brien has ambushed a royal appearance in London for a simple announcement. The Chartist Party are wholly committed to the establishment of a republic. The divine right of kings is one such justification that the monarch in question should never be questioned. Another is the mandate of heaven. Second verse, same as the first. It is the same in principle. Do not question the monarch. The funny thing is, once God is dead, then who assures the divine right? The queen must demonstrate her connection to our people. Extra momentum for the Chartist party, and Smith O'Brien gets subversive bravery, which makes him more popular. Sedition cannot be tolerated. Demonstrated authority, which makes the Queen more popular, weakens William Smith O'Brien. Or our allegiance is to a republic, to democracy. This makes upper stratum pops in Britain more radical, because a bunch of momentum to the Chartists. I'm going to do the first one. I think that's kind of a middle path type situation. William Smith O'Brien's a good dude. Alright, are we successfully invading the Merina Kingdom here? We're in a naval battle. We've won our naval battle. It's 3 battles, 0%. Okay, alright, so this is going. We're still fighting naval battles here. I think we need to take out the French fleet over here before we can win. Oh my gosh, we're both doing ramming maneuvers. Guys, you gotta dial it back. And this one is... Oh, because we got 2 fleets in the area, so this is locking up both of these naval invasions. But we're beating the French at sea, so I'm feeling pretty good overall about that. We've got a hold of French territory in Africa, so if we look at France's war support, it's at 62, and it's going down by 2.66 per week, whereas ours is going down by 1.85. So France is going to be out of this situation before we are. Miskito war is pretty much good to go. And here's our naval invasion. We are winning. Very good. So I can go ahead and increase the speed here. And now the Army of Australia is taking over the other section of the Indian Ocean Territory. So we'll get a hold of that. The French have a fleet down by the Cape of Good Hope. So let's go ahead and grab our main fleet. I don't want to grab our main fleet and send them there. I think we need to land this naval invasion before we can... Oh, no, they're going somewhere else. Cool, perfect. That's the end of that war. I feel confident our fleet presence is overall stronger than France's. Guess once you're ready to advance... Very good. That's taken over, which is exactly what we expected to happen. And now we're holding northern Madagascar. And once our units are able to get there, and we'll go ahead and put this, the Army of Australia over there as well, just to shore up our defensive capacity. Or our offensive capacity, rather. We are continuing to press forward here. Very good. Perfect. Public address goes awry, another stall event. What was meant as a routine speech about the merits of private health insurance by Robert Peel has quickly devolved into a public relations disaster for the industrialists. Fumbling his way through a series of poorly presented talking points, Robert Peel's arguments have been viciously and convincingly picked apart by his political opponents. The question on everyone's lips now is merely if this mishap was due to the inherent failings of private health insurance, or can be chalked down to the political incompetence of the industrialists. It is the result of this poorly thought-out proposal. Robert Peel must take the blame for this setback, or scrap the current draft and make a show of a rewrite. I'm gonna... This is very tempting, but I can't take too many more stall events on here. If I completely stall out, it'll reset the chances, so I'm actually just going to go with the first one. It's going to significantly slow down the proposal, but I think we'll basically be fine. All our allies are sending forces here. I'm going to go ahead and throw an army in there. just in case the French show up with a force. I kind of thought we'd be just like kind of sweeping this, but it occurs to me that obviously the French army could get here and put a stop to it, and that would be a problem for us. So we'll just go ahead and get another army en route here. Yeah, there we go. There's an actual French army coming. We are continuing to press forward. Hopefully that'll close out the front. This battle will. Nearly there. And here's another battle. So this should be the end of the road for the Merina Kingdom. And there we go. Perfect. I'm going to fill in all of our war goals. Merina Kingdom is, of course, willing to submit to any or all of these. We've got territory in France occupied, so I don't necessarily need to be trying to bash forward after France. Their war support... Oh boy. There's a lot going on right now. So there's a diplomatic play happening in Europe. So France's war support is at 3, and they're losing 3 per turn. French Guinea being part of this peace deal again, that's going to go down by 90%. So it's really actually only a few more weeks for France as well. So we'll just kind of let that be. We've had an election. How's it looking? Still looking basically where we want to be. The armed forces want to join the Chartist Party, but that's going to goof up our government. But that said, it's good to have the armed forces in the government. Let's just go ahead and do this. Now, there's a diplomatic play happening in Europe. Prussia wants a treaty port in Denmark. Unfortunately, I can't intervene on Prussia's side. Russia is on Denmark's side. So I think we'll just be fine. And this should sort itself out pretty promptly. Cool. Alright. And I haven't done a negotiated peace yet, so I should be able to propose this peace deal. I can't. Alright. So this means we're just going to have to wait for France to completely fall off. Oh. Discord within the landed gentry. An influential faction within the landed gentry has grown frustrated with their co-members' neutrality on the topic of private health insurance. Themselves in favor of the law, they have now resolved to form a separate political faction intent on passing it. How can you stand idly by and watch the world pass before your eyes? Have you no sense of honor or duty to your fellow man? I say nay to such lack of ambition, and I dare say I am not alone in this. With their support, the bill shall pass. The industrialists extend an open hand to these mavericks. So, with their support, the bill shall pass gives us 15% enactment chance. This one gives us 10% instead. But weakening the landed gentry and strengthening the industrialists is really good for us. So I'm going to go with this second one here. I don't want to necessarily land invade France at this time, though. So I think we'll just kind of let them flow down to capitulation eventually. And just kind of chill, keep chilling and letting this war sort itself out. So the Plymouth Station fleet has gotten itself repaired. So we'll actually deploy the Portsmouth Station fleet to the Bay of Biscay and the Plymouth Station to the English Channel, and I think that'll be just fine. This war is going to go on a long time. Again, this is one of those weird functionalities where France is, like, still technically in the war, but they would be willing to accept the peace deal, but for some reason that's not happening. And the reason that's happening is because Merina Kingdom has already become my protectorate. That part of it has already sorted itself out. Oh, interesting. There's a peasant revolt in the Transvaal. Neat. And this war has popped off between Russia and Prussia, so we'll see how that goes. I'm actually having a strong temptation to invade France, but again, I think that's a lot of... Oh my goodness. So, America's doing a massive war of expansion in Mexico, and I am tempted to support the United States. So let's see what Mexico would be willing to provide. Trade agreement. Don't necessarily want that. Obligation. War goals. Liberate subject. Indian territory. There's a notion. That would be interesting. I could have another subject state in North America. That would be nice. But if I get involved in this, I'm going to continue to lose cash, which wouldn't be the end of the world. What do I think Mexico's chances are? Mexico has a solid army, but America has a much better one. Did America go to... No, they're still a national militia. Gosh. This is an autocratic presidential republic in America. Ugh, don't like that. We'll give this a sec, and... Yeah, you know what? What kind of a Mexico do we have here? Landed voting presidential republic. It's not great. But we want to keep this balance of power because we don't want America getting any bigger. So, offer support to Mexico. War goals. No. Transfer subject. Indian territory. And they've officially confirmed. So, let's get some armies on the way over to America. We'll put the Army of India and the Army of Ireland and the Army of the West Indies all over there. That should give us what we need. No, we'll throw the Army of Canada in there too. Presumably by the time this war kicks off, the war with France will be essentially finished. And then we'll be able to do whatever we desire. And I'm hoping no one else in Europe tries to get involved in this. Mexico's still worried. America has thrown all these into the primary demand. All these states into the primary demand. So I think this is going to be a serious, serious situation. Well, progress to drafting. Wonderful. That'll give us some breathing room, which I'm pleased about. Netherlands wants an alliance. No, thank you, Netherlands. I don't necessarily want to be involved in your offensive actions over here. We're still knocking out French fleets again. This is going to be another wonderful. All right, and that means we've got a hold of French Guinea over here. So, the jewel in the crown. The rule of the British East India Company has ended, and the British government will now take a greater role in Indian affairs. History shall mark this day as the inception of the British Raj. As long as we rule India, we are the greatest power in the world. If we lose it, we shall drop straight away to a third-rate power. Only through despotic methods can we extract from India what the empire requires. Good riddance to company rule. So British East India becomes a puppet. The doctrine of lapse will be abolished, preserving the princely states. Very nice. So, that makes this a puppet, and that makes all of the princely states puppets of ours. Which is... or a few of them. Yes, no, all of them. Cool. That's a big shot in the arm for us, economically. And the fact that our war is now over means we can get some other armies on the way to America, which I'm pleased about. So let's also get out there with our main fleets Raiding convoys and generally creating a problem. This guy needs promotions. That gives us the command capacity we need, and then Portsmouth Station. Let's go ahead and set this guy to raid we'll set them all to raid. We'll set these ones to interception, and the other ones to raid convoys. And we'll put this one in the Atlantic Seaboard Sea Node, and then this one's going to the Gulf of Maine Sea Node. And then we'll grab our Sheerness Station fleet, and we'll put that one in the Caribbean Sea Node. And that will let us get everything we want to get done. With that having been said, that is going to be the end of the episode, so we're going to have to go ahead and wait for the war with America. It's been fun, though. We established a protectorate over the Merina Kingdom, which will be very good for our economy going forward. We seized a little chunk of French colonial territory, and basically every time France sides against us in a war, we're going to grab another chunk of French colonial territory, and slowly that's going to whittle this down. But crucially, we don't necessarily want to completely close these out, because this gives us an ability to get aggressive with France in these zones without necessarily posing serious risks to ourselves, and that's an advantage to us. So that's why we're doing it the way we're doing it. But that's all I've got for today. Friends, I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I'll see you all on the other side.